Okay, welcome yogis, namaste. I'm Eric and this is an hour of intermediate vinyasa. We're going to start with kapalabhati breath, which is shining skull breath. So find sukhasana, easy cross-legged pose, and have your right shin in front. If you are new to kapalabhati, it's one long inhale followed by a series of exhalations where the belly bellows and navel draws towards the spine. And there's a passive inhalation in between each of the out breaths. So I'll demonstrate and then we'll do it together. It looks a bit like this. And you only want to go about 70% effort or energy. If you push too hard, the breath becomes unsustainable and you want to have some longevity to the breath. So each cycle will be about a minute. If you have high blood pressure, glaucoma, or are pregnant, just sit this one out and sit tall, take some deep breaths. So here we go. Breathe all the way out and inhale and begin. If that feels too fast for you, you can slow it down. If you'd like to go faster and you have the experience and comfort level with that, you can definitely speed the process up. We're about halfway through this first round, so try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Last 10 seconds. Continue for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a full breath all the way in. Hold at the top, slight tuck of your chin for Jalandhara Bandha for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the chin and exhale all the way out. Second round, inhale and begin. Keep going. Kapalabhati breath means shining skull breath. So it's like someone were to take a flashlight or a torch and shine it right onto your skull and onto your brain. So it's like blowing the dust off of a table or blowing the dust off of your brain, shining light onto your brain. So it's a type of breath that invokes a natural wisdom. Okay, continue for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And breathe all the way in. Hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Exhale all the way out. As you sit, take a full breath in and breathe all the way out. And third and final round, breath in and begin. Even though the breath can feel kind of intense, try to maintain some stillness in your posture, some softness in your posture, so it feels sustainable, it feels possible. Last 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale. Hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale all the way out. Okay. And then come forward just slightly for a forward bend. And walk your hands in. Close your eyes. Just take easy breaths to integrate the pranayama into your being. And this quote is from Adyashanti. He's a modern mystic. Make no mistake about it, enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagined to be true. Slowly open up your eyes. Take your hands behind you briefly so that you can switch the cross of the legs. Flex your feet. Inhale nice and tall. And again, exhale, fold forward a little or a lot. Swaying side to side might help. Feet are flexed. And then walk yourself back up. Come onto all fours, tabletop posture. And 3 cat-cows, nothing super complicated. Inhale to open your chest. Exhale, push down and round. Big shrug of your shoulders. 2 more. Inhale, draw the heart through the gateway of the arms. And exhale, pull the heart towards the spine. Last time, breath in and out. Come into neutral, curl the toes under, push into your hands to stabilize the shoulders, and hover your knees a centimeter off the floor. Okay, keep the upper back rounded and low belly pulling in. Hold here. Take a full breath in. Now spin your bent knees to the right as you exhale. So you get this twisting of the waist. And then inhale, come to center, spin your knees to the left. Exhale. Inhale through to center. Exhale, twist. Keep the shoulders as level as possible. Inhale, center, and exhale, twist. Inhale, center. When you pivot your knees to the right, option to peel your right arm up towards the sky. And then right back into your floating tabletop. Exhale, spin the knees to the left. Option to peel the left arm right up towards the sky and slowly, gently replace the hand down to the mat. Stay with this movement, peeling up as you pivot, lower, and peel up. One more time, each side. Exhale, center. Inhale, right side, center, peel up. Good. Come to center, lower your knees down, and then briefly draw back into child's pose.
Ooh.
A really common metaphor that shows up in a lot of spiritual traditions is that of the bow and the arrow. And an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backwards first. So a lot of moments when we feel discouraged or as if we're not moving in the right direction in life, it could just mean that the potential energy needed to launch us forward is being built up if we keep our eye on the target. Come back into your tabletop posture. Building on what we did before, push down to around your hands. Hover your knees. Good. As you spin your legs off to the right, kick your left leg forward. So you're just hovering. And then come back to center, rooting into your left foot, kick your right leg forward, hovering. Again, come to center, spin, kick the left leg forward, hover the pelvis, come to center, spin, and your right leg hovers. Okay, come to center, spin, extend the leg. This time set your pelvis down. Okay, your right hand will grab your right big toe, extend the leg, lift up, and pull your left hand back, almost like you were pulling a bowstring. Yep. And then switch the push and the pull. So as the right shoulder pulls back, the left arm reaches forward. And then just switch that again, pull, and reach with your left fingertips. One more time. So it's this pushing and pulling action. Great way to warm up and floss the shoulders a little bit further. Okay. Set your right foot back down. Left hand will come outside of your left hip. Lift your hips up. Bend your left knee and come back to floating tabletop. So the other side, I know it's a bit tricky, so we'll move slowly. Extend your right leg forward and lower down. Okay. Left hand grabs hold of your left big toe and pull back, archer pose. Straighten the leg and your right shoulder pulls back. And then switch, bend your left knee as the right fingertips reach forward. Switch again, pull the right shoulder back as you straighten the left leg, and switch again. So one more time, extend the left leg, and then pull back, bend, and set your foot down. Okay, bring the right hand by your hip, and floating tabletop. Good. And walk your feet back just as much as you need to find downward facing dog. So out of the unfamiliar territory, but hopefully we got some benefit out of that. And in your downward facing dog, feel free to be still and really settle into the pose, or you can move around a little bit. Do find your breath. So this idea of pulling back to go forward, think of Newton's third law. Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. In Japanese Zen study, practice, and meditation, there's the image of snowflakes falling on a bamboo leaf. It gets heavier and heavier and more weight down until that one final snowflake falls onto the bamboo leaf, creating just enough tension and pressure for all of the snow to slide off and the leaf to bounce back to its resilient state. Okay. From your downward facing dog, lift your heels, round your spine, roll the body all the way forward. Inhale, high plank, and glide back. Ujjayi, exhale, downward facing dog. Twice more, roll the body forward, breathe in, and back, exhale. Last time, yogis, roll the body forward, inhale, and hold in your high plank pose for about 3 breaths. Draw the low belly in and really push down to warm the shoulders as the breastbone draws forward and the heels press back. Final breath in. Shift forward and lower all the way to your belly. Elbows brush the side body. 3 baby cobras. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Consider walking your hands back an inch or two. Inhale to lift and lower. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under, press to high plank or plank on the knees. And downward facing dog. Exhale. From your downward facing dog, take an easy walk to the front of the mat. And with feet hip width apart, bend your knees, fold into your ragdoll. Now we've done a good amount on warming the shoulders already, so if interlacing fingers behind the back body feels appropriate for you, go for it. Otherwise, just grab opposite elbows. Whatever you are, whatever pose you're in, you can relax the top of the head, just let it go. And bend your knees as much as you need to really let the head be heavy so it does hang like a ripe piece of fruit. Okay. Release your hands completely and slowly roll up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders shrug back. Okay. Surya Namaskar A, any variation that suits you. We'll move on the breath. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Long spine, full breath in. Exhale, step back right into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog if you're feeling it. Cobra is still okay. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hold this one for 3 breaths. So bend your knees as much as you need to find length from your wrist all the way to your outer hips. Feel your forearms and your armpits lift away from the floor as your chest presses towards your thighs. Okay. Inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, walk, step, or hop top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Root to rise, reach the arms up towards the sky, and hands to heart center. Exhale. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Long spine, step or flow, high to low, chaturanga. Inhale for your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. This time, 2 breaths. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. And ujjayi, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Right into the long spine. Fold again. And root to rise, reach everything up. Hands to heart center. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Plant the palms lower. Shine the heart. And meet back in your dog pose. This one's only 1 breath. Inhale. And let it out. Inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Flat back. And fold. Okay, root to rise, lift all the way up. And hands to heart center. Toes together for your chair pose, heels an inch or 2 apart. Sit back, Utkatasana. Okay, hands together for Kali Mudra, that's steeple. Reach forward as you pull the hips back, try to flatten out your spine. And then heels pick up off the floor for iron footstool. Try to zip the ankles together and keep the heels as high as possible. We're gonna come to standing really slowly. Lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, heels up, ankles together, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and tall, breathe in. Just as slowly return to iron footstool, begin to lower, 8, 7, heels up, ankles together, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here because it's really satisfying. Or widen your knees, plant your palms for Bakasana. Spread the fingers wide, crow pose. So knees high into the upper arms. Shift the weight forward and pull your heels to your glutes. Keep rounding the upper back. It's 3 breaths. Inhale 1, exhale, inhale 2, exhale, last breath in, step or flow, chaturanga. And we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, float the right leg all the way up towards the sky. Right knee comes to your right shoulder. Exhale. Trace the right knee down to the right wrist, but don't let it touch the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, back up to the shoulder. And twice more to the wrist and the shoulder to the wrist. Exhale, shoulder, come to down dog, split. Bend the right knee, roll open through your hip for scorpion. Level off the shoulders. Keep lifting the right thigh, externally rotating both legs. Good. Re-straighten right leg. Inhale and step all the way through. Rise to your high crescent lunge. Lift up. So long in your lunge because we do want to get into the left hip flexor. Breathe in. Hinge forward. Sweep the arms back. Generous bend to your left knee. Rise back up to high crescent. Inhale. Again, bend the left knee generously, lean forward. Exhale. One more time. Exhale, keep the left knee bent. Nothing changes but hands to heart. Elongate your upper back, tailbone heavy. So you want to come out of the really deep lumbar curve. And if it feels okay, take your shoulders just over your hips. Left knee still bent, shoulders nice and broad. If you're still able to breathe and your core is contained, meaning your frontal ribs are not flaring out, take your arms forward. I know it's tough. If you're still breathing, your shoulders are relaxed, you've got movement and freedom in your neck, arms can come overhead. Keep your low back engaged. Imagine that you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. And final iteration, if you can keep your knee and your hip in line, is to re-straighten your left leg. Press into the right heel. Take one more full breath in. Good. Exhale, lower your hands and pull your hips back. Modified pyramid. Full breath in. And a full breath out. Slowly come all the way forward. Rise back to high crescent lunge. Inhale. And open, warrior two, ujjayi, exhale. Straighten through the right leg, pitch your left toe slightly forward, reach forward, triangle pose. Spiral the chest open and reach the left arm up towards the sky. If big toe hold is happening today, grab the right big toe. Not at the expense of compromising the low back to make that happen. So we don't ever want to force it. Great, last inhale. And rise up, warrior two, exhale. One time, reverse warrior, reach up and back. And slowly journey to an easy twist. So left fingertips come down, Right arm peels up towards the sky. Some of you will hover your left hand. If you really want to supercharge it, you can reach your left arm forward. Keep rotating through your trunk, strong in the back leg. Good. If the left arm is forward, take the palm down. Step back to side plank, Vashisthasana. From your side plank, stay, lower a knee if you need to, or take tree. Yeah. And you can also pull the knee in. It's gonna increase the intensity. And it won't be for everyone, but if you had the right big toe hold in Trikonasana, you might take the right big toe here and extend the leg. 2 more breaths. Okay, last inhale. Ooh, stay for the out breath. And release. Inhale, high plank and lower chaturanga. Lift to Urdhva Mukha. And all the way back. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Okay. Full breath in. And a full breath out. Left leg lifts all the way up. Left knee to left shoulder. Exhale. Trace the knee down to the wrist. Breathe in. Zip it up high. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, wrist. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, wrist. Exhale, shoulder. Inhale, lift the legs, scorpion. Bend the left knee and roll open through the hip. Level off your shoulders. Keep lifting your left knee. Keep spiraling the thighs away from each other. Good. Re-straighten left leg and step all the way through. Rise to your high crescent lunge. Lift up. And to get more effectively into the front of the right thigh, feel free to wiggle that foot back. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, hinge forward, generous bend to the right knee. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Inhale. And last time, exhale. Generous bend to the right knee. Stay low. If you're feeling like you've reached your edge of sensation, stay. Otherwise, hands to heart. Start to take your shoulders over your hips and puff your kidney lines back as you open through the chest. Still keep your left thigh parallel towards the floor. If you feel you've got space in your shoulders, your neck, you're still breathing, arms forward. And you can even take the arms overhead. And final iteration is to re-straighten the right leg, but keep your left knee and your hip in line. 2 more breaths. Inhale, 1. Exhale, last breath in. And hands come down. Glide your hips back, straighten the left leg. Any amount for a brief pyramid pose. Come all the way up, high crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Straighten through your left leg, your right toes, your back toes point slightly forward as you reach into your Utthita Trikonasana. So big toe hold may or may not happen. It's just an outcome, not a goal. Don't be seduced by the need to contort yourself into a particular shape. One of my favorite teachers, Donna Farhi, says that yoga is not about how deeply we can enter a pose, but how present we can be in each pose. So if we're chasing after an aesthetic, we're not really present with what's happening in our bodies or in this moment. Last inhale. And rise all the way up, warrior 2, exhale. So it's 1 time, reverse warrior. Take your time to find easy twist. Right hand down as you reach the left arm up towards the sky. So option to hover the right hand, option to reach your hand forward. This will use the obliques a bit more. Keep rotating the chest up. working the right ribs underneath the left. And then bring your right hand down. It needs to be ahead of the shoulder so you can step back to your side plank Vashisthasana. That could be where you stay. You could take a tree pose variation just like before, or hold the shin, keep the hip open, keep the right shoulder stable, potentially big toe hold as you straighten through your left leg. Woo. And hold. Last 2 breaths. I know it's tough. Inhale 1, exhale, inhale 2, and final out breath. Back to your high plank. Take your time. Move through your vinyasa. Don't rush it. And all the way back into downward facing dog. To be fully awake or spiritual or enlightened or whatever language you want to use around it is to embrace all of the experience, the light and the dark, the moving forward, the pulling back, the lifting and the lowering. The idea is to be big enough, strong enough, resilient enough to sustain all of it. So it's not helpful at all if we're just constantly in pursuit of love and life and positivity and pushing away anything that makes us uncomfortable. It's actually quite regressive. For the arrow to move forward, it first has to be pulled back. Take your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Right into warrior 2. Ujjayi, exhale. For this variation of warrior 2, really long and low, have your thumbs up, fingers spread wide. Take your back arm forward, inhale, touch your right palm, squeeze the left shoulder, make a fist as you exhale, pull back. So you're really working the pulling action of the left shoulder. Again, inhale, reach forward, squeeze left shoulder, pull back. Keep your gaze forward, your eye on the target. Inhale, exhale, pull back. Pause here. We're going to do a round of kapalabhati, which is what we started with. So, full breath in and begin. So you keep breathing. I don't want to overload the mic with my bellowing, but the idea is keep your eye on the target. In the Mundaka Upanishads, which is one of the oldest yogi texts, it says that the sound of Om, the sound of creation, is the bow, and your spirit is the arrow, and God is the target. Continue, continue for 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the right leg, parallel your feet. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands to your hips. Just stand tall, breathe in and out. Okay, one more inhale if you're feeling, pretty steady in your body. Hinge forward, wide-legged forward fold, exhale. Okay, lift up partway. Bring your fingertips to the floor for a flat back. So half Skandasana, point your left toes slightly out to the left. Walk your hands to the left to the back of the mat so you can flush into your left hip, your back hip. Your right toes can stay on the ground, or if it feels nice, point the toes up towards the sky. If you've got the space in your hips and feels comfortable, you can take hands to your heart for full Skandasana. Cool. Okay, release your hands. Come back into center. Parallel your feet. Inhale. Stay for the out breath. And then journey to the front of your mat, a low lunge on your fingertips. Breathe in, reach the arms back for arrowhead. Open the fronts of your shoulders. If it feels right, interlace fingers behind the back of the body. Warrior 3, come forward and lift. Keep the pelvis in neutral so you can lift from the front of the left thigh rather than extend from your low back. Heart pulls forward. Last breath in, yogis. And last breath out. Release your hands, lightly step back to a fingertip lunge. Okay. Full breath in. Shuffle your right foot to the left side of the mat and pull your left knee forward so you can have a seat. During Ardha Matsyendrasana, inhale, arms lift up, twist to your right, exhale. Lift, lift, lift through your chest. We need the challenges of the world. They drive us to become more clear by shining the light on our shadows. That's part of how life wakes up to itself. Okay, come back into center. Bring your hips to the midline so you can unfurl the legs, find your boat pose, Navasana. For a little bit more effort, lift the arms overhead. And for even more effort, come down to low boat. Hold, hold, hold. Press your lumbar curve down. Spread your toes. Take one more inhale. Zip up to Navasana. Exhale. Breath in. Cross your shins. Plant your palms. Chaturanga. Exhale. Urdhva Mukha. And exhale. Adho Mukha. Breath in and out. Okay. Left leg all the way up. Exhale, step your foot through, rise to your warrior 2. Remember, you can always get longer. Allow your hips to melt down. Take the arms out wide, thumbs are pointing up. Your backhand reaches forward, breathe in. Make a fist, squeeze, pull back, exhale. Keep your eye on the target. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. This is great for the shoulder. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale, squeeze. Stay here, full breath in. And kapalabhati, begin. So when we have our eye on the target, we're not necessarily squinting or straining. It's a relaxed, open quality, a loving quality. Awareness is loving. Being aware of how we're being moved around, pushed and pulled. Understanding that all of this is happening not to us, but for us. For the evolution of our consciousness. And it is our task, the task of our spirit, to keep the eye on the target. Continue for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, parallel your feet. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Okay, one more breath in. If you need to stay up a little lighter because you're lightheaded, stay up longer. Otherwise, exhale, hinge forward to your flat back. Awareness is what allows experiences to pass away. There's a really beautiful knowing and understanding that happens simply from being deeply and fully present with whatever arises. Even though you might feel frightened or insecure, you're choosing and willing to look anyway. Hands release, lengthen your spine. So Skandasana into your back hip, your right hip, point your right toes slightly out on a diagonal. Walk your hands towards the back of the mat. If it feels right to point your left toes up towards the sky, do it. This is where I'm going to stay, but some of you will bring your hands to your heart. Okay, come back into center, parallel your feet, breath in, and journey to the front of your mat for a low lunge. Pull your heart forward. Exhale, the arms reach back. If it makes sense to interlace your fingers, do it. Non-dominant thumb on top. And here we go, warrior three, lift up. Level off your pelvis, long in the back leg. Pull the heart forward. You've got cobra in your chest. 3 more breaths, yogis. Okay, last breath in and release to a fingertip lunge. Exhale. Shuffle your left foot to the right side of the mat and then zip your right knee forward so you can sit back for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Nice and tall, lift the arms and exhale, twist to your left. Steer the hips forward. So the rotation is happening from your rib cage, not necessarily from your low back or your SI joint. We want to keep the joints where the hips and the spine meet really stable. Okay, and then come back into center. Pelvis to the center of the mat if it's not. And last time for your boat pose. We won't do anything fancy, no low boat this time, just one breath in. This is our final vinyasa. Cross your ankles, come forward, and chaturanga. Inhale, and exhale. Okay. Roll the body forward, high plank pose, and lower all the way to your belly. Hands come forward for Sphinx. This might be the end of your back bend, but we are going to work, of course, towards bow pose. So first half bow, rotate on your left forearm as much as you need to, bend the right knee, reach back and catch. Once you've got it, re-steer your shoulders forward so that you're bringing the spine as symmetrical as possible, and then kick into your hand, kick into your right hand as you press into your left forearm to lift the chest up. Pubic bone grounds down, but right thigh gets lighter. And then release. Back to Sphinx, and second side, pivot on the right forearm, bend the left knee, and reach back. Press into the right forearm, square your chest forward, kick into the hand, lift your chest. Okay. Either come back to Sphinx or Cobra if you want to go for full bow. Lower as much as you need to reach your right hand back, catch the inside of the foot, and lift your chest up. A little or a lot, be kind to yourself. How present can you be in the pose? Everyone release to crocodile, elbows wide, forehead down. If it feels good to windscreen wiper the knees, bend the knees. And press to child's pose. And lift up to all fours. Cross your ankles behind you so you can sit back. Staff pose, Dandasana. And then we'll play with archer pose again. So let's bend the left knee and have the right leg nice and long. Okay. Now, if the right hamstrings are a bit tight, a modification will be to bend the right knee. So you'll know if that's appropriate for you. But first thing is first, cradle your left shin. Just hold it in your arms and cradle it like a baby side to side. Right. So again, if you need to bend the right knee to help you lift up out of your chest, be my guest. So this is where it kind of, I'm not going to say goes off the rails, but this is where everyone will really start to notice anatomical differences in their body, so please don't force it. So if this is good for you to just be cradling, please stay cradling. The next progression is to take your hands like a forklift. And that might be where you stop. Then the next progression is to grab the sole of your left foot with your left hand. Your right hand can come behind you for support and pull it back a couple of times. So that same pulling action. And I don't know why anyone would want to do it, but you could put your foot behind your head right now. Okay, so archer pose would then be to use your peace fingers, grab hold of the left big toe, pull it back. Right hand reaches forward either in space or for the right big toe and pull that back. Then gaze forward, try to elongate your spine. Full breath in and a full breath out. Slowly release back to staff pose, Dandasana, nice and tall. Just a little breather to reset. And then second side, bend your right knee. And to be honest, this could be where you stay as well. Or cradle the right shin. While our task is to meet whatever comes up for us, we don't need to let that necessarily be the entirety of our day, where we're just looking into cracks and crevices and shadows. We also have to make sure that we create time for rest, option for the forklift, time to just stop and breathe and take in goodness, have time with friends, have time in nature. Okay, if it feels good to grab the outer edge of the right foot and pull it back a couple times. Okay, and then final expression, full archer pose, peace fingers, grab your right foot. Pull the right leg back, lift your chest, and if it feels right, left arm can grab left foot. Keep lifting, 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 gaze forward. And back to staff pose. Nice and tall. Okay, Paschimottanasana, inhale, lift. Any amount, hinge forward and fold. Feel free to bend the knees if that helps to relax the spine. One more breath in and out. Inhale, rise all the way up. Roll down to your back body. Step your feet in as if you were doing bridge pose, but you're not. And just have your arms by your side. Extend your right leg so it's long. And you can keep your right heel on the ground as you lift your hips up about halfway. So not all the way to full bridge where the hips are up, just half as high as you would normally lift them. And then hover your right leg so that your right leg bisects the middle of your left shin. And then swing the right leg out to the right, back to center, off to the right, and center. This is a good SI joint reset. Off to right, back to center. Bend the knee and set your hips down. So second side, extend your left leg so it's long. Lift your hips up halfway, float your left leg so that the left leg bisects the center of the right shin. And first of 3 times, leg off to the left, center, left, center, and one more time. Wide swing to the left, come to center, bend the knee and set your foot down. Bring your feet as wide as the mat and windscreen wipers side to side. And if an inversion feels appropriate for you, you might take shoulder stand or plow pose. If an inversion is not happening, soles of feet together, knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. Got about 8 breaths. Four more breaths. Come into center. Move through any kind of necessary little counter poses you need to do before we finish with a simple twist to the right. So hips move to the left. Draw your knees in and lower them to the right. Option to look over your left shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale all the way out. Inhale, center. Move your hips to the right of the midline. Set them down. Knees into chest and lower your knees to the left. Option to look over your right shoulder. And inhale, come to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Any little circles to massage out your sacrum. And then lie fully on your back. Bring your feet as wide as the mat, palms face up. Let all of your bones be heavy and your muscles soft. Relax your face, the left shoulder and the right shoulder. Relax the left glute and the right glute. Heel bones heavy. Shavasana. Take a full breath in and let it out. Find easy movement in your body. And with closed eyes, roll to the right and gently press to a final seat of your choosing. So once again, Adyashanti, just to bookend, same quote from before. You might have different context after the class. Make no mistake about it. Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagined to be true. Hands to heart center. A slight bow of your head. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.